So I arrived at my syndicate lake for the bank holiday weekend. Just a quick little bit about the situation that I was dealt with. I arrived on 3 o'clock on the Friday afternoon and the lake was absolutely rammed. There were actually no swims left, but very luckily for me, a good friend said I could double up with him for the weekend. So yeah, it looks very promising, the wind's blowing in and stuff. The approach we decided to take this weekend, it's one that I've been doing quite well on so far this year out of the water. It's a mixture of spod mix, which I'm going to show you in a second, but the rig itself is something a little bit different to what I think most people are using. It's been catching me quite a few fish. So to start with, we've got 4 foot of the Garden and Plummet lead core. That runs down to a covert lead clip, that's the see-through green. Then we've got 3 ounce lead just on with the tail rubber only just pushed over the clip so it drops off if it goes into any of the weed. An anti-tangle sleeve. We've got £25 Garden Mirage boom for the combi rig, £20 Trickster, and it just creates that nice pivot, a bit of the critical mass putty, and you can see the rig's just going to sit up like this in the water. It's a pink fluoro cell 10mm pop-up from Camp Particles. I'm just tipping it with a bunch of about 15 maggots. The fish inside this lake absolutely love getting on the naturals at this time of the year. Often people sit behind blank rods even though the fish are showing over them. And I'm convinced it's because it's either they're feeding up in the water or they're just gorging on natural food, so I'm trying to replicate that and it seems to be working so far. I've had a few fish, so things are going very well. I'm just going to very quickly show you the spod mix that I'm knocking up now, and then we'll get the rods out and see if we can have a few fish. I'm just going to show you the spod mix now that I'm using this weekend. I started off for the first night putting out about as much as is in the bucket now, about a third of the bucket. The reason being I want to try and build my swim over the weekend. It's very evident from the last few trips I've done down here that the fish, they don't seem to get on the bait the first night that you put it in. It's usually a day or two later. So with 3 days I just want to start nice and slowly and build the swim up. And what I've also done, I've got all different types of pellets in there. All the way from 1mm up to about 6mm pellets inside of there. I've got cell boilie rolled by the Camp Particles. Again, I've got all different sizes, chops, and just to give myself that edge again, I've got a few maggots and casters inside the spod mix. But something to make it a little bit different from everyone else that can do exactly the same thing is I've got some lake water, boiled it with the kettle, and then just scalded it over the top just to create this breakdown with the pellet. It helps for all the natural oils to release, and also I'm hoping that the fish are going to think that it's been in the water a little bit longer because it's that little bit further in the breakdown process already. Like I said, I've had a couple of fish now, so it seems to be working, and then each night as I go through my session now I'm going to top up the spot, gradually increase the amount of boilie content, and also gradually increase the amount that I'm putting out into the water, hoping that I can get more fish into the swim competing, and yeah, hopefully all's going to go well. Well, I'm here on the last morning of my bank holiday weekend fishing session at my Southern Syndicate Lake. It's been a real productive weekend. Myself and a friend fished doubled up in one of the swims, and fortunately for us all the fish managed to sort of push down into this area for the weekend. I think I've had 7 fish now, my friend's had about 5 as well. We've had fish up to just over £35 between us, including 5 30s altogether. All the fish have been coming from heavily spotted areas of a mixture of particles, pellets, boilies, chops, maggots, pretty much everything we can throw at them. Rigs have been kept simple, we've both been using bright pop-ups. I've been using size 6 insider hooks on combi rigs, and yeah, it's done the damage this weekend, so we're going to slip this one back and see if we can sneak one more before we pack up and leave for home.